What is the best conversation you accidentally overheard? My freshman roommate in college would talk on the phone 24/7 to anyone and everyone. His GF, the girl he was cheating on his GF with, and my personal favorite, some random conversation that I was barely paying attention to when suddenly, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, your daughter broke up with me yesterday." To this day, I kick myself for not paying attention from the beginning. Some of us are just happy to believe he was also doing his ex-girlfriend's mother. And she was on a perpetual phone call roster too. I work with a guy who has a daughter that's like 21 or 22. Can't remember. Anyway, this guy's lifting partner is a dude that his daughter screwed over. He said that this young man constantly tells him everything his daughter is up to. He's confided that he really wishes his daughter would have picked this guy, but the guy is too good for his daughter and that she plays too many games. Cracks me up because he likes the guy more than his own devious daughter. I overheard two people's epic encounter a while ago. So a woman comes into the bakery, and as soon as she steps in, a man greets her. He proceeds to ask her about what's new and how she's been the last 20 years. The woman obviously knew the guy, and they engage in a 10-ish minute talk about their spouses, kids, and jobs, basically everything new from the last 20 years. Then they decide to meet up next weekend and have a cup of coffee. The woman then asks him to say hi to his sister from her, and his response is, "I don't have a sister." At that point, both their faces were priceless. She asked him, "Wait, your name is Pete, right?" He responds, "No, your name isn't Karen." I burst into laughter sitting a few meters away. They'd been talking to a complete stranger about the last 20 years of their lives. They said bye to each other in an extremely awkward manner and went on their way. This happened to a coworker. He was supposed to meet with a guy for lunch for a networking opportunity, and a guy approached him and says, "Are you Craig?" And he goes, "Yeah." So they start chatting. Craig glances at his phone and sees that the guy he was supposed to meet rescheduled the meeting due to a confliction. So then, he had no idea who he was talking to. Turns out the stranger was there to meet a Craig who was bald, like my coworker, and they didn't realize they weren't there to meet each other. They looked at me when I spat out the laughter. But the awkwardness was that severe that they just ignored it and moved on. I have no idea. I kinda wanted to stake out the place over the weekend to see if they showed up. But I'm guessing I met this lovely woman in the bakery the other day. I'm having coffee with her on Saturday is a hard sell to a spouse. Two girls on the bus sitting in front of me start talking about a date that one of them had recently been on. One of them says, and then he stuck his hand up my skirt, and her friend says, "The one with the stripes on it." "Katie, that's not the point." "Well, no, it wasn't the one with the stripes. Why didn't you wear the ones with the stripes? He would have gone down on you with the stripes." "Oh my God, Katie, I don't even want to talk to you right now. Did you take your red jacket?" I was at a graduation party for my best friend when she graduated high school in '07, and a boy she was hanging out with at the time was there. He had to use my friend's house phone to call his mom, and the last thing he said to her before hanging up was, "I'm a grown man, Mom. I'll skateboard home." We still use that to this day. Maybe a month ago on Reddit, there was a thread about upbeat songs with dark lyrics, and someone brought up the Macarena. Everyone dances to it at parties, but the lyrics are about a girl who cheats on her BF while he's away in the army with his two friends, and then anyone who can dance. It follows these things up with "ID Macarena," and that makes it all okay, apparently. Overheard more or less. At a past job, I was accidentally sent an email from a woman at an office several states away that basically said, "I've thought long and hard about this, and I'm still apprehensive about it, but I'm ready to meet you at a hotel." It was followed with about 10 recall message attempts. In an old electronics class, we were playing with spectrum analyzers and discovered that the old cell phones broadcast on open frequencies. If you found the spike on the spectrum and tuned into it, you could hear what they were saying. Happened to tune into a couple girls calling some guy, so they could come over and smoke some doobies. By the time they were done, me and my lab partner had the entire class clustered around listening in. Think half of them were hoping to find out where they were going so they could crash the party. When I was a teenager, I was taking to a friend through a landline, and my phone picked up a few seconds of my neighbor's conversation. All we could hear was "my hurts," and then proceeded to lose our sh*t. Nerd here who works with stuff like this. That's actually channel bleed over. Back before the US adopted CDMA and GSM, this phenomenon was discovered when two call channels were placed too close to one another. It rarely happens anymore because someone figured out the math to separate the channels appropriately, but it was still funny. Spectrum analyzers are lots of fun. We used to play with one to listen to phone conversations as well. The one we had was a portable with transmit capabilities as well. One trick we had was go out into the apartment complex and find someone watching the evening news. We'd locate the audio spike for the TV channel they were watching, tune over to the video spike next to it, and hit the transmit key when anything truly interesting started to happen on screen. I was at the bathroom in my university, washing my hands, and overheard a dude talking softly in one of the stalls. Stalls are completely closed with a wall in between them. When he stopped speaking, I heard the guy next to him talk in a similar way. This went on for a few more seconds, until I heard one of them say, "In a minute, I'm in the bathroom right now," followed by the other dude, "Aha, yeah, me too." First dude, slightly louder already. "Wait, are you next to me then?" Second dude, soft, possibly, louder. "Hey Mark." First dude, loud, "Hey man." They both started hitting the wall to make a noise and started laughing. To which I responded with, "You guys are so cute," and then I left so they wouldn't know who I am. I'm sitting in my drinking spot at the bar and two rednecks are at the counter. I'm talking old, trucker hat wearing flannel, skinned men who have seen more time in truck cabs than in the sunlight. They're both sitting with their Budweisers and talking heatedly. I usually overlook this sort of thing until one goes, "Maine? No. You gotta slot them flawless gems in your gear or other stats ain't gonna optimize right. You build for your play and then you get online. Where are your skills right now? I guess Diablo 3 has a wide audience." I was showing a network admin how insecure VoIP can be by showing him how to hack his network with a free program. We found a call and started listening in. The VoIP call we ended up cracking into was the VP and other heads of the company talking about a birthday party that they were throwing the network admin. They went on to say what a nice guy that the network admin was and how much smoother things ran under his care. The guy was nearly moved to tears. Two guys making sandwiches at my local deli were arguing over what the best movie ever was. One man was arguing that Kindergarten Cop was the best movie ever created, and the other was just arguing that it wasn't. The one arguing that it wasn't gave a couple valid arguments that seemed easily deflected by the other man. It eventually devolved into them shouting, "It's not a tumor," at each other. I was in a shoe store, and a little girl was playing on the floor with her mom. The mom kept asking her to stand up, but the little girl would continue rolling around the floor. Finally, she rolled under her mom's legs and looked up and said loudly, "Why don't you have on any panties?" And the mom dragged her out of the store quickly. Was on the bus, and a small girl and her father were sitting in front of me. The kid was misbehaving a bit and wouldn't sit still even though her father would tell her to settle down several times. Eventually, he lets out an exasperated, "Why won't you do what I tell you to?" And the little girl answers, matter-of-factly, "Mom always tells you to stop washing your balls in the sink, but you still do it." Needless to say, they got off that bus very quickly as every single person around them was desperately trying not to laugh.